Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are in the right place at the right time. I am your host, Dr. Ron, and you are here for another episode of the Noon Report on Street News Now. I'm so glad that you all stopped in to see what's going on today. And I think I got a pretty interesting lineup for you today. So, before I get started, the first thing, as always, I like to give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that we have been traveling in life, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And the reason why I talk about Dr. Hunt as much as I do is because I want people to understand the value of a mentor. I got recruited this morning to be in a broadcast, and we started talking about children and what could be some of the things that can help fathers deal with children. And I mentioned the fact that mentors are very valuable. They're very valuable to our community, they're very valuable to our family. And when you have a mentor, someone that can help you navigate how to have better relationships, that's something that's invaluable. So I always encourage, get a mentor and then get a show so you can shout your mentor out. So that being said, let's move right along here. I have a couple of interesting topics on today, and of course, I'll work my way up to Trump on a major scale. I heard on yesterday that Hollywood is getting closer to negotiating a end to the writer's strike. Now, this strike has been going on a little bit long now. So, most of the new shows that are supposed to be starting up in the fall season are in question now, are in doubt whether or not they can come out with a, fall season because the strike hasn't ended. And I know that part of the problem is that some of the requests that the writers are having are trying to take advantage of some of the wealth that the networks are making off of their work, which I think is in favor of the writers. They should get more of the money that they have helped create for the networks. And some of the major networks are really, being kind of greedy, as you might say. They want all the money and don't want to give up nothing. Like, look, just do your job and go sit down. But I think that the more that the actors and the writers have joined forces, that the networks are going to have to give in eventually. So I applaud them for all those that are on the line, picket line, and keep up the great work because it's enough money to go around. They need to just go ahead on and share the wealth. Look, at the end of the day, you can't take it with you no way. All right. Another shout out I'd like to give today to the world's fastest woman, Shay Carey Richardson. Shay Carey Richardson, for those that don't remember her, was the young lady that was not able to go to the Tokyo Olympics because they found marijuana in her system. And they stopped her from participating in the world class event. So now she's back. She didn't go anywhere, and she's competing again. And the woman has now claimed the title of the world's fastest woman. Now, I remember back in the day when we had Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens had the title during the Olympics in Germany. And I tell you, he made the world stand up and pay attention to his abilities and his speed because he was as fast as any other human being out there. So I applaud this young lady and the efforts to stay in the game, stay in shape, and pass the drug test so that you can show the world that you are what they thought you were, the fastest woman in the world. Now, I've got another shout out that I want to make to all of the people that are out there keeping Black history alive. Now, me, myself, my contribution has always been on Sunday. I do a Black History Moment 365 days out of the year. And out of that contribution, I go back into time and I find moments in Black history that should never be forgotten. And I talk about them. If you don't, know about them, you can go over to my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see some of the Black history moments. I dedicate every Sunday as a Black history moment, and I talk about someone in our history. Well, now opponents of Black history are starting to come up with the ideology that Black history is teaching hate. And I don't understand where they would get that from because our history is our history, and as much as you like to try to change it, there was hate part of our history. Europeans came to this country, and I'm talking about America, and they called the inhabitants of this country savages. And when they started calling them savages, then they began to make them extinct. So these are facts. These are things that took place. There's some indigenous tribes that don't exist anymore because of the hatred and the ability to be able to come in with the guns and the Bible and wipe out people, whole nationalities, and make people do what they wanted them to do. And now they don't want to own up to what their ancestors did that allowed them to become very wealthy nation, America, because they had hundreds of years worth of free labor to be able to build wealth off of. And now they don't want to own up to it. They're like, oh, no, we don't want to talk about that. But yet, when we talk about the Holocaust, it's history, something that we don't want to see happen again. So I think, and I say this all the time, the blood of our ancestors cries out for us never, ever to let them forget what they did to them. And I think it's necessary and very important for our future generations to know what was done to them. And I think America owes Black people a debt that they have yet to pay. They have talked about reparations, but yet they say we don't have enough money to do it. Now, one of the wealthiest countries in the world say we ain't got enough money to pay back what we owe. I think if you look hard enough, you can find the money. So I don't think that teaching Black history is teaching hate. I think what we're teaching is the reality. The facts speak for themselves. So pay what you owe, America, and live up to what your ancestors have done around the world. They went to Africa and conquered people and brought them to America to get 200 years of free labor out of them. Come on now, live up to it. Own it. It's yours. So let's talk about Trump. I finally worked my way up to my favorite person to talk about. Uh, on this week, I ran across a commentary by several scholars of the Constitution, as well as a former judge. And they've been talking about the 14th Amendment and what the 14th Amendment has written in it about Donald Trump is not eligible to run for president anymore because he has been a part of an insurrection and now he's charged with insurrection and tried to overtake the country by not allowing the new president at that time, Biden, to take office because he did not want to give up his position of power that he had as president. So he gonna try and overthrow the Constitution. Well, the 14th Amendment, according to the scholars, says that at this particular point in time, he does not have to be found guilty of anything. Just the fact that he's charged with an insurrection and was responsible for causing an insurrection, he is ineligible to defend the Constitution of the United States. Now, people are not going to allow him to face his reality by telling him, like, nope, you're out. You're not going to do it. He is still the front runner on the Republican side for president. He has more, according to the polls, more people supporting him than any other candidate. But according to the Constitution and according to the scholars, this debate will come down as per state. Each person in the office of Secretary of State for each state will have the right to not put him on the ballot because of this existing rule in the Constitution, the 14th Amendment. So Donald Trump is going to overlook the fact that, oh, yeah, I'm not eligible to run, but I'm still going to run because he knows that if he becomes president, the only real chance that he have of avoiding some of the federal charges that he still won't do him no good against the state charges that are against him. But, newsflash, he got 4 grand juries that came in on him, and he, has to answer to all his wrongdoing. But because of those charges that are pending against him, because he's innocent until proven guilty, according to the law of the land. But as far as we know, we all know, we witnessed it, we saw it, we observed everything he did. Okay. And he thinks he's above the law. That's why they call him the Teflon Don. He thinks. So, but the Constitution has a provision, according to the constitutional scholars, that say that he cannot run right now. He is ineligible to be president again. He cannot be sworn in as president again, okay, because of his own actions. And it'll boil down eventually to each state pushing this to the Supreme Court to determine what the Constitution says about this. And he thinks he's got a sure thing because he has appointed more more Supreme Court justices, and he feels like they owe him. So that is by law that he cannot run again. Also, Donald Trump is not going to show up at the debate that's taking place on tonight. They have a debate going on in Wisconsin, and he's opting out of the debate. So 8 of the candidates that are on the ballot to try and be the nomination coming out of the Republican Party will all debate on this evening, and it's going to be interesting. Ron DeSantis is the next person on the list, as they say, according to the polls. Polls, I don't have no merit right now, but according to the polls, he's the second on the list. He's just going to elevate to a higher position, or he's going to decrease to a lower position. So, the debate will determine how well he will perform publicly during the debate tonight. Also, Donald Trump is reporting to jail, Georgia, tomorrow. On Thursday, he is scheduled to appear. He is scheduled to post a $200,000 bond for his state charges in Georgia. They had a deadline for all of the people that were in the indictment, the RICO case in Georgia, have to surrender by Friday. So Donald Trump is coming in on tomorrow. He will surrender himself to the jail, the county jail. According to all of the other people in the indictment, they have been fingerprinted, pictured, and surrendered themselves and posted bond in order to be able to be persecuted or prosecuted in this case. Now, some people will say persecuted. I say prosecuted because that's what's happening. They have been charged, and Rudy Giuliani is on his way to court as we speak on this day. He came in today, and he was still trying to find an attorney in Georgia to work with him in order to be able to plead on this case. I came up with this one. It was quite interesting. Donald Trump's ship is sinking. And the reason why I say that, on the federal charges of the documents, one of the gentlemen that went before the grand jury in Florida, and Donald Trump was paying his attorney fees, he has refused to accept any help from Donald Trump at this particular time. So the attorney that was on his case was Donald Trump's attorney, and the team of attorneys that Donald has helping him in Florida. So now he has come forth and said, I'd like to change my story that I told the grand jury. So now it looks as though he may be looking for a plea bargain, in his case, because he's got charges right along with Donald Trump. So he is willing to change his story and offer evidence against the Donald. Okay, that's in the one case in Florida about the documents. So it's going to be interesting to see how many other people out of the 100 or so charges against him are willing to begin to cooperate with the courts in order to help sink his ship even the further. So, we have to stay tuned because that's what's coming down the pipe. Now, I'm also wondering, how long is it going to take the Republican Party to tell Donald that we cannot select you to be president thanks to your own doing? Because that would allow some of the pressure of him being the front runner to release. Because if he understands that the party is not supporting him, he's looking for the party to support him. He's looking for the party to jump up and say, okay, stop this. You can't do that. Stop this. You can't do that. Well, the party, on the federal level can't do anything against any state charges at all. but they can head off some of the foolishness by just turning around and facing him and saying, look, man, it's over. You know, we did the best we could to help you. The megas need to just shut him down. There's so many people that are carrying his banner that they're afraid of him for some reason, but they need to just shut him down. The party itself needs to shut him down. And they have the ability to do that. All they got to do is grow a set of kahunas, and they will be able to stop some of the foolishness that Donald Trump has gotten them involved in. Okay? The Republican Party is no longer trying to help the people. They're trying to help Donald. And the party was never designed for that purpose. That's the facts. Just the facts. So that's it for today. I want to invite you guys to go over to the website that we have, streetnewsnow.com. And when you get over there, I want you to fill out the form so that you can become a show right here on Street News Now. We have some time slots available. We got some people that are coming on board that have expressed an interest in coming on board with us in order to bring their show or their broadcast over here so that they can have an opportunity to be on Street News Now. We're growing. You know, we're not where we're going to wind up at. We're still in the beginning phases. We still need your help. We need your support. So go over, fill out the form on streetnewsnow.com. When you get over there, fill out the form, and somebody from the administration team will help you put your show together. So definitely go over there and fill the form. And that's the first step. Then someone will get in touch with you to help you. Lee Michaels would love to bring more and more shows on board with what we're doing here at Street News Now. All right. I want to encourage you all to subscribe, like, and share. Please subscribe, like, and share. Join the family. You can see every time we go live if you subscribe, like, and share. But subscribe first, and then you'll be able to see everything that's popping up. Okay? So that's it for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please don't forget, join me each and every Wednesday right here for the Noon Report. I appreciate you guys every time you tune in to everything that I do. Thank you so very much. I can't thank you enough. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. So stay safe, you know, and be blessed. And I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. Peace.